In lesson 7-4, we're going to be talking about the percent equation. We have already learned how to do basically all these same problems using the percent proportion. So we talked about this is another way to do these same problems, is to write an equation and solve to find the missing number. So first of all, it all starts with translating your sentence into a math problem. So whenever you see the word of, we have to turn it into a multiplication problem. Whenever you see the word is, we have to turn it into an equals sign. Whenever you see the word what, it translates to a variable. N is what I always like to use. And whenever you see a percent, we have to convert it to the decimal form to be able to use it in an equation. Now, once you have the actual equation formed, you need to solve for the unknown variable. Make sure at the end your answer is in the correct form, because if they are asking for the percent, you're actually going to be solving for the decimal form, and you need to convert it to the percent. So let's go ahead and try one using our translations. So it says, what number? So when it says what, you should be writing a variable n. Is equals 46%. We got to change that to a decimal, so 0.46 of 200. Okay, at this point you can use your calculator if you need to, but n is equal to 92. Alright, so if you do 0.46 times 200 in your calculator, you get 92. So that's our missing number, and we were just looking for a number, not a percent or anything, so we don't have to convert it at all. In our second example, 26, we write 26. Is, we have to write equals. What percent? We write n. Again, you can look up here for your code, your key of what to do, or look at our first page. What percent of times 32? Alright, now in this problem, we don't just have it set up so nicely like we did in the other problem where we just did what it said to do. Right now, this is actually an equation that we have to solve. So we have to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division, and divide by 32 on both sides. Okay, so that will cancel your 32s, and we'll get n is equal to, and what you end up with here is 0.8125. Okay, now again, the question asks for a percent. So we need to convert this to a percent. Okay, the emphasis there is on the R, percent. We got to move it 2 times to the right, so 1, 2. So we end up with 81.25%. Now, if the directions ask us to round to the nearest tenth, well, the 2 is in the 10th spot, and the 5 tells us to round up. So actually, our answer is going to be 81.3% if we round it to the nearest tenth, which your directions in your homework will ask you to do. Alright, so the next one, 12 is, change it to equals 40%, so 0.4, we don't need the last 0 if we don't want it. Of is times what number? So I'm going to put my n in there. Again, the opposite of multiplication is division, so we're going to divide by 0.4, and remember that teeter-totter, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. The 0.4's cancel, so we're left with n is equal to 30. And again, you can plug this in your calculator. 12 divided by 0.4 equals 30. And you can check that out with your calculators, and it'll work. Alright, last but not least here, of the 1,250 people surveyed, 36% preferred comedies over action movies. So how many people preferred comedies? So we're going to do 36% of 1,250. Alright, so we'll change this to a decimal, 0.36 times 1,250. Alright, and our answer we're going to get is 450 people. Okay, and again, you just plug that in your calculator, 0.36 times 1,250, and we get our answer of 450 people. So again, we have one example. So here's 1, 2, 3 examples. Those are the 3 different types of problems that you will see in your homework. And if I were you, I would start with this page for each problem in my homework. I would translate everything into a math problem. Then once you have it set up, I would look at your examples to figure out which example matches the problem that you are looking at, and then use your example to help you solve the problem.